जाओ भाई, करीब करीब आ जाओ। प्रोग्राम शुरू हो रहा है इंशाअल्लाह। हाफिज़ हुमैद जो है हमारे सामने कुरान शरीफ का एक रुकू पढ़ेंगे। आ जाओ, बिस्मिल्लाह। नहीं 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 नहीं, शेरवाल शेरवाल पिलान से
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أقم الصلاة لدلوك الشمس إلى غسق الليل وقرآن الفجر إن قرآن الفجر كان مشهودا ومن الليل فتهجد به نافلة لك عسى أن يبعثك ربك مقاما محمودا وقل رب أدخلني مدخل صدق وأخرجني مخرج صدق واجعل لي من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا وقل جاء الحق وزاق الباطل إن الباطل كان زهوقا وننزل من القرآن ما هو شفاء ورحمة للمؤمنين ولا يزيد الظالمين إلا خسارا وإذا أنعمنا على الإنسان أعرض ونأى بجانبه وإذا مسه الشر كان يئوسا قل كل يعمل على شاكلته فربكم أعلم بمن هو أهدى سبيلا. صدق الله العظيم.
ما شاء الله। तशरीफ़ लाइए मौलाना कारी नईम रहीम शहीम साहब।
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So I'm going to be reciting a naat which is the praise of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I've written this on my own. It's in English, suitable for the crowd. I request inshallah all brothers to participate in the praise of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Together inshallah, nice and loud. Sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. How fortunate is Medina that you lie within. I wish I was a grain of sand just to gain blessing. Sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ya Imam al-Mursaleen, Ya Habib Allah, Ya Imam al-Mursaleen, Ya Habib Allah, Ya Habib Allah. How I wish I was a cloud listening in the sky at the times when you prayed for us in your humble cry. Sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ya Imam al-Mursaleen, Ya Habib Allah, Ya Imam al-Mursaleen, Ya Habib Allah, Ya Habib Allah. If I was a tree, whenever you leaned, I could at least feel the power of your mercy. Sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ya Imam al-Mursaleen, Ya Habib Allah, Ya Imam al-Mursaleen, Ya Shafi Allah, Ya Habib Allah, Ya Rasul Allah. दूसरे पढ़ लीजिए. जब नात नबी में लिखता हूँ, अशआर से खुशबू आती है, और जिक्र नबी जब करता हूँ, गुफ्तार से खुशबू आती है. जब नात नबी में लिखता हूँ, अशआर से खुशबू आती है, और जिक्र नबी जब करता हूँ, गुफ्तार से खुशबू आती है. गुजरी है कई सदियां लेकिन लगता है कि कल की बात है ये. गुजरी है कई सदियां लेकिन लगता है कि कल की बात है ये. जिस गार में आका जाते थे, उस गार से खुशबू आती है. जिस गार में आका जाते थे, उस गार से खुशबू आती है. जब नात नबी में लिखता हूँ, अशआर से खुशबू आती है. होता है मुसलसल जिस घर में दुरूद का विर्द शाम व सहर. होता है मुसलसल जिस घर में दुरूद का विर्द शाम व सहर. उस घर के दरीचे से दर से दीवार से खुशबू आती है, उस घर के दरीचे से दर से दीवार से खुशबू आती है। जब नात नबी मैं लिखता हूँ अशार से खुशबू आती है। मैं इसमें हबीबे दावर का हर लम्हा वजीफा करता हूँ। मैं इसमें हबीबे दावर का हर लम्हा वजीफा करता हूँ। ये नाम ही ऐसा है जिसकी तकरार से खुशबू आती है। ये नाम ही ऐसा है जिसकी तकरार से खुशबू आती है। जब नात नबी में लिखता हूँ अशार से खुशबू आती है। और जिक्र नबी जब करता हूँ गुफ्तार से खुशबू आती है। और जिक्र नबी जब करता हूँ गुफ्तार से खुशबू आती है।
आ जाइए मौलाना इब्राहिम सूफी साहब, इंशाअल्लाह मौलाना इब्राहिम साहब नूरुल इस्लाम के फॉर्मर इमाम है, जवान में वहाँ बहुत काम कर रहे हैं। अल्लाह पाक की फरमाए और इतनी मजबूजात से हमको मुस्लिम।
अस्सलामु अलैकुम रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि व कफ़ा वस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला सय्यिदिना मुहम्मदिन मुस्तफ़ा व अला आलिहि व अस्हाबिहि नुजूमिल हुदा क़ारित तुक़ा मा बाद। अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। अल-अख़िल्लाउ यौमइज़िन बअदुहुम लिबअदिन अदुव्वुन इल्लल मुत्तक़ीन। क़ाल नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम अर्रजुलु अला दीनि ख़लीलिहि फ़लयंज़ुर अहदुकुम मन युख़ालिल औ कमा क़ाल अलैहिस्सलातु वस्सलाम। सदक़ल्लाहुल अज़ीम व सदक़ रसूलुहुन नबियुल उम्मियुल करीम व नहनु अला मा क़ाल रब्बुना व ख़ालिक़ुना व राज़िक़ुना मिनश शाहिदीन व शाकिरीन वल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन। इन्नल्लाह व मलाइकतहु युसल्लूना अलन नबी या अय्युहल्लज़ीना आमनू सल्लू अलैहि व सल्लिमू तस्लीमा। Everyone recite Durood Sharif loudly. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Respected elders, brothers, mothers and sisters, if they're listening, young children, I won't take too long, don't worry, yeah? I think your minds are in different places right now, yeah? First of all, we've just finished Taraweeh, so everyone's tired. So you can imagine me, I'm tired, and I have to speak. And number two, I've been told there's some khana, there's some food. So our minds are drifting towards the pizza. So I'll keep it very short, there's other bayans as well. I want everyone to listen carefully though, yeah? So yesterday in the Jummah khutbah, for those who did come for Jummah yesterday, the kids were here and they weren't at school. Yesterday my teacher Hazrat Moin Abdur Rahim Sahab, he was discussing about fitna. You know what fitna means? Test, trials. So sometimes Allah puts you through a situation, yeah? A death in the family, for example, someone passes away, yes? Anything, you go outside and if you're driving, for those who drive, something happens to their car, yeah? The windows are broken maybe, someone's broken into the car. These are just examples. These are known as fitan, these are known as tests. And the outcome of the test is also a test. So this is what Hazrat Moin Abdur Rahim Sahib yesterday was talking about. And then he gave some solutions, how do you protect yourself from these trials, from these tests. This was the bayan yesterday, very nice bayan, beautiful bayan. And he made 5 points. And from the 5 points how to protect yourselves from fitan, tests. And there's many tests. We live in an era, a time where we are surrounded by tests. Fitna. We have social media, for example. This is a test from Allah. How are we going to utilize that social media? Whether that's Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc., etc. This gaming, PS5, PS4, and all this Nintendo, it's all a test. How are you going to utilize that? How much time are you going to waste in that? Time in itself is a test. How much are we going to be utilizing that time? How much of the time are we going to waste? This is all a test from Allah. For those who have parents, if you respect your parents, that in itself is a test from Allah. Those who disrespect their parents, that's a test from Allah. Yeah? So these are all tests. And my teacher, Hazrat Maulana Abdul Rahim Sahab, was mentioning 5 points how to protect yourself from these fitan. And one of the 5 points that he mentioned is friendship. Friends. Yes? Friendship. Company. Suhbah. You know this name Sahaba, this title Sahaba. Yeah, it's not some in UK we have, in England we have like postcodes. So sometimes if you go to the wrong postcode and there's a bit of garbar over there, some fighting or whatnot, a bit of beef, yeah. And if you're wearing jubba is different, but basically there will be trouble with it. And they'll say, what postcode are you from? I think it's ridiculous, it's silly really. Yeah? Or you're not from this postcode, what, is it your dad's place or something? Or it belongs to your dad? That's what they would say. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to Allah. But then fighting will take place. So anyway, this word Sahaba is not some title that they got because they live in Darnlands or they live in Markham or they live in Malton or they live in Scarborough. No. The Sahaba is from Suhbah. It's not some title that they all got together and they decided, wow, that's fantastic. I think the name Sahaba just sounds really cool. It sounds really nice. No problem. Yeah? No problem. So let's keep this title of Sahaba. No! Sahaba is from the root word Suhbah. Suhbah means company. And because they were in the company of the best of creation, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they gained this title Sahaba or Sahabi. It's very simple. And they became from zero to hero. The likes of Umar radiallahu anh, I only have 15 minutes by the way, so I can't go for too long. Sahabi like Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anh, he went out with a sword. You kids know this story, and you should know this story. I'm sure you know this story, and I hope you know this story. He went out of his home to kill the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A man who went out of his home to kill the best of creation on the face of this earth. And he was on his way, he was diverted because of an individual, and he went to his sister's house. And then you know what happens over there? After the entire story, he goes to Rasulullah's house, and Rasulullah, everyone knew Umar. Umar was Umar. Yes? You know, we say, yeah, bro, yeah, come outside. Me and you beef it out. There's no beef between you guys. The most you'll do is say, yeah, you be quiet, you be quiet. Umar was known. But when it comes to Rasulullah, Umar was nothing. When he came to the Prophet, Prophet got him like this. He knocked on the door, and everyone hid behind the curtains. Rasulullah was just sitting there. Who's it? He said, Umar has come. Yeah, let him come, don't worry. Everyone's hiding behind the curtains, and when he opens the door, he holds him like this. This is how he holds the Prophet Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu's jubba. What do you want? And he says, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa annaka Rasulullah. I've come to testify and accept Islam. The point is, thereafter he became the second best man on the face of this earth. The second best man. He went out with a sword to kill and finish the Prophet ﷺ. He came back being the second best man on the face of this earth. And furthermore, Rasulullah ﷺ said, if there was to be a Nabi, there's no prophet after the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, but if there was to be a messenger, it would be who? It would be who? Umar radiallahu anh. A man who went out to kill the Messenger ﷺ. But how did he gain this? Suhbah, company. You know the Day of Judgment? You know the Day of Judgment? At least nod your head, you have to see you nodding the head. Yeah, I'm sure you guys, the Canadians nod their head, yeah? If you nod your head, then I know that you guys are with me, you're engaged with me. The Day of Judgment is part of our aqeedah, is part of our belief. We believe that when we pass away, there is another world. We are not atheists, we're not agnostic. Yeah? We don't deny that there is a second world. Second world means there's a second life. We will pass away, we have to pass away, kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut, and then we'll be raised again we'll come out of our graves and we'll have to answer to Allah. All our good deeds and bad deeds, they'll be put on a scale. If the scale is heavier on the good side, we go Jannah. If it's in the bad side, we have to face the punishment, the consequences. So, one of the titles of the Day of Judgment, there's many titles. You've heard of Qiyamah, Yawmul Qiyamah. One of the titles of the Day of Judgment is the Day of Regret. The Day of Regret. Why? Because we are going to regret many things on that day. You're going to regret, or we are going to regret, that if we just prayed that, said that one subhanallah extra. La alone salah, la alone zakah, hajj, etc., we will regret not saying that one subhanallah extra. That if we said that one subhanallah, we'll have a higher status in Jannah. That's if we are going to Jannah, inshallah, yeah? So one of the titles is known as the Day of Regret. Why is it called the Day of Regret? One of the reasons, Allah has mentioned in the Quran. And Allah says that on that day, وَيَوْمَ يَعَضُّ الظَّالِمُ عَلَى يَدَيْهِ يقول يا ليتني اتخذت مع الرسول سبيلا يا ويلتى ليتني لم أتخذ فلانا خليلا لقد أضلني عن الذكر بعد إذ جاءني وكان الشيطان للإنسان خذولا. He's mentioned what's going to happen, an instant on the Day of Judgment, a scenario on the Day of Judgment. Listen very carefully. This applies to all of us. There's no one in this room. It doesn't apply to this applies to everyone in this Jama'ah. On the Day of Judgment, you're going to call out. If you had a bad friend, obviously, right? If you had good friends, and it doesn't apply to you then. Someone who had a bad friend, wrong friend, he teaches him wrong things. And that person, he turned him away from Islam, the deen, salah, doing good things. He will shout out, he will call out. And he will say, I wish I did not make this individual Fulan who is so and so my friend. Fulan and Khalila, I wish I did not make this guy my friend. So in this room, I'm sure you're sitting next to your friends, right? I have a friend, for example, his name is Muhammad. His name is Shu'aib or Ismail or Ibrahim. And on the Day of Judgment, if this person was not a good friend, and he kept me away from the masjid, he kept me away from the deen, he used to make me do wrong things. Made me swear and go to perhaps the cinemas, eating haram, chilling out, doing wrong things. Yes? Smoking maybe, drugs, alcohol. Yeah? Doing wrong things because your friends made you do that. You were a good boy, everything was cool. The moment that friend came into the picture and the friend came in the equation, everything started going pear-shaped. Because it's the friend. That same friend who you chill with, you relax with, you go out with, everything's hunky-dory over here. Everything's fine right now. But on that day you will shout out, call out, I wish I did not make this, and you will say his name. You will say his name, that I wish I did not make this guy my friend. But it's too late then. It's too late. That's why in this world, if I had time I can speak for longer and discuss so many things. We have to have good friends. Don't think it's all colorful. This is the phrase which I always use, the word which I always use. Don't think it's colorful. People think, oh look, these guys, they go to the mosque. They go to Medina Masjid, they're all like Sufi boys. They pray namaz, Allahu Akbar, and they go to madrasa and they're all like reading the Quran. And I'm not about that. I'm from the streets. I like to chill on the streets. I like to play football. I like to play rugby. I like to play my sports. Right? No, this shouldn't be the case. You should have good friends. Friends are very important. The friends, they will help you to be good people. الرجل على دين خليله. A person, or المرء على دين خليله is also another hadith. An individual is on the path of his friend. It's impossible for you to have a friend, he's on one path and you're on the other path. It's impossible. You'll be on the same path. Perhaps in the future, in 10 or 15, 20 years time, because you'll go your own ways, which I'm going to explain, that will be my last point. You will be on the same path. You have friends who swear. Not that I have friends now. I mean, they were my friends previously, and then we all move on. Every sentence, they swear. Every sentence. And they've been doing this since, we We were kids, 7 years old, 8 years old. Until today they have this habit. I always say to them, what's this? Why do you keep swearing for? They have a habit. Every sentence is incomplete, naqis, without an F word, B word, wrong word, dirty word, filthy language, street language. Speaking about the opposite gender in a dirty way, filthy way. And they think it's cool. Wow, that's great, man. That's great. I love it. How is that cool? Yeah. Allah did not give you this tongue to use the tongue in a filthy way, in a bad way. Allah did not give you the tongue for this. Allah blessed you with a tongue, the speech to say good things, to read Quran, to do your adhkar, to read, pray your salah. You understand? And that's why you have to make sure you have good friends. And this is the last point I want you to make. Many things I want you to mention, but I can't, very less time. One point I want you to make, and this is the last point. This is the cherry on the cake. Yeah? You know, some people, and these kids, they have to listen to this point. If someone acts upon this, I'll get rewarded, inshallah. You know, some people, and I would say, if I'm not incorrect, I would say majority. Majority of people, kids, youngsters, not just bache, little kids, teenagers, even those boys who are in their early 20s, they're totally deluded. They're totally in a different world. I'm going to explain what I'm talking about in a moment. It's as if they're in, I always give this example, it's as if they're in France, in Paris, on the Mickey Mouse ride. They're living in some cuckoo land. And you know what I'm talking about? They think that the friend that they're sitting with, so you boys, the boys who you're sitting with right now, they think that they're going to be friends forever. Like for 100 years. And they're going to be holding hands and playing Ring of Roses. And everything's going, wow, we're going to be going holidays, and I'm going to come to your house and you're going to come to my house. We're going to be playing every single day. We're going to be playing ball. We're going to be playing, I said football, and one kid started laughing. So let me say, what is it called? No, sir, that's what soccer is, football. Oh, your football. Baseball, that's the one. Baseball. So, no, they think they're going to be with their friends forever. Forever. Ever and ever and ever. And they forget that, you know what, in their 20s, there's something called marriage. And this is the favorite topic of these young boys who are sitting upstairs and over there. This is the only topic they know. They don't know about zakat and hajj and about other things. What should we talk about? Let's talk about marriage. And I asked them, when do you want to get married? They will say 10 years. So what's the point of talking about marriage then? But anyway, there's something called marriage for these boys who don't know what marriage is. Marriage isn't just husband and wife and you get married. No, I don't think that's marriage. You know what marriage is? Friendship finished. You're not going to see that your friend again. You go your own way. And for those who go to school, and I have to explain that as well, because we have school and then high school and then college. School, once you finish school, the friends they may go to another college. You may not go to that college. You may go to another college, a different university. You're going to go different ways. I always say, ask the elders who are sitting in this room, all the elders. And I'm challenging you this. Go to these elders who are sitting here. The elders, the chachas, ask them, those mashallah have white beards, ask them, how many friends do you have from 30 years ago, 20 years ago? They will tell you, I would be shocked if they even say 2. I would be shocked if they even say 1. Their friends are finished. They don't have these friends anymore. But you know one thing that stays within them? One thing stays within them. Good habits and bad habits. So that boy that you're chilling with and you're having a very good time with that friend of yours, he may grow up to be a hafiz, an alim, a mufti, a doctor, a millionaire. And this person, subhanallah, he's just lost. Because you had that bad habits previously in the past. And this is why I wanted the story which I wanted to end. I have a friend, I'm going to tell you a real life story. They are not stories which, people may not believe or something. In my school, when we were in high school, and this I'm going to end with the story. When we were in high school, there was one of my friends. I wasn't very close to him, but yeah, he's a friend. And in UK, in the United Kingdom, in 2002, he had the top 5 highest grades in the entire United Kingdom. Not just England, the entire United Kingdom. I don't want to say his name, he might be watching this. He was so smart, honestly, subhanallah. He would learn like the dictionary. His maths and mathematics was on a different level. You name any subject. A star. I don't know how you lot grade it, right? We have A star, B, C's, yeah? Top level student, honestly. He was so smart. In fact, in UK, we have this term called bod. What do you lot call when this geek? What do you lot call them? Nerd. Are you not saying nerd? Is it nerd? Proper gunna in there, you know, tajweed, nerd. Yeah? So they used to, in our school, they would call him bod. Like a nerd. He was very smart. He was very popular at the same time. Sometimes you can be a nerd, very smart, but then you have friends as well. So everyone knew him. The only issue he had was so smart. Even his GCSEs, top level. He got top 5 in the entire country. But he had one issue. All his friends were all look at Patte basically. All of them were so, I used to see this, smoking drugs, chilling with the opposite gender, going out, chilling, relaxing. Only one issue he had, and this is straight after GCSEs. And he went pear-shaped. Wallahi, I'm in the house of Allah. This brother I'm talking about, he went on the streets, he was begging on the streets. He had the top level, he had top universities where he applied for and he received it, but he didn't go. I still see this brother. And guess what? All his friends, they all moved on. They all moved on. He's not even married yet. He's looking. I'm not going to say it's his fault right now, but what can I say? It all goes down to your friends. Make sure, this is what you have to learn from today. You have to learn something from today. There's no point coming here and just, you have to learn something. Please, hard joke, I'm holding my hands like this. Have good friends. If you don't have good friends, you can't just jump to Salah. I want to be good, let me jump to Salah. You can't do that. I want to be a good person, let me just go for Hajj. It's not going to work like that. It all starts with your friends. And you're good, your friends will become good. Your friends are not good, you make them good. If they're not becoming good, first swearing, for example. If they're swearing, you have to be out of that circle. You can't be chilling with boys who are swearing and using filthy language, dirty language, grime. You know, there's a music genre called grime music, which the only thing they discuss in that music is about interaction with the opposite gender, intimate relation. Yeah? So you should avoid this type of people. If I had more time, I would mention many other things, many points, many other incidents. Subhanallah bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. I'm going to call upon Mufti Hayat Sahib to give a few words, inshallah.
MashaAllah. May Allah Ta'ala give Maulana Ibrahim Surti Sahib Jazai Khair, MashaAllah. He cares for you so much. We care for you guys so much. We want to see you in 10, 15 years time at the peak. You know, we want to see our Muslim brothers, you guys being the people that people go to. Yeah? To Allah Ta'ala make you guys what we want you to be in the future, inshallah ta'ala. You know, leaders, people who people point at. Why? Because you are the followers of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. May Allah Ta'ala give us tawfiq. Alhamdulillah wa kafa wa salatu wa salam ala ashraf al-anbiya wal mursaleen Muhammad wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Rabbi zidni ilma warzuqni fahma. My beloved brothers, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My friends, you and I are on a journey. It could end in the next second, it could end in 70 years' time. And the key thing is, you don't know when your bus is gonna stop. How do you know when you're gonna leave the dunya? Nobody knows. You know, I had a friend just like 3-4 weeks ago. I got a phone call from his sister. I was in my clinic and she said, look, Zamrud Bhai has passed away. She said, Zamrud Bhai has had a stroke. Can you give him some medicine for stroke? You get some very good homeopathic remedies which break the strokes and help it be absorbed. I said, no problem. Come now. She didn't come. So in the evening, I rang him again. You know, can you come and get the medicine? Didn't pick the phone up. So I went to the clinic anyway just to get the medicine in case they come. And then his daughter rang and she said, my father's passed away. Just a year ago, he took his daughter to Pakistan just to visit. She passed away in her sleep, bichara, and he didn't get over that. You know, I used to have hopes for this man that he's going to do this and this and that. Suddenly he's gone. Another friend, Fayaz Bhai, an optometrist. He went 3 Ramzans ago, he went to the janaza, to someone's janaza. They went to bury somebody. He had a heart attack in the graveyard. Teak-talk, normal guy. And the ironic thing was the ambulance place was just literally 6-7 minutes away. You know when someone's heart stops, you have 6 minutes maximum where you need to put the defib on and bring him back to life. You've seen that, haven't you? A defib, you should all know where your defib is in your areas. Someone's heart stops now, what are you going to do? You're going to do there's certain movements you do, yeah, to make his heart start again. Did you know when you do the movements, you have to break the ribs, the sternum, for you to compress the heart. So they were just 6 minutes away down the road. But the problem was on that day there was too much traffic. Bichara wahan Allah Ta'ala ko pyara ho gaya. He passed away in that very, very graveyard. And they buried him there the next day. So my friends, you're on a, listen to this carefully. You're on a limited lifespan. When will you go? If you go to the graveyard, you'll see small children's names there. Born on this day, died 2 weeks later. No one is immune, my friends. It's not the day when you can have a long lifespan and retire. You can go at any time. And when you go, you're going to go to the grave. And that grave, my friend, can either be the most amazing, comfortable place you can even think of, or it can be a pit of Jahannam. Al-qabru rawdatun min riyadil jannah or hufratun min hufrin nar. The grave is either a pit from the pits of fire, or it's either a garden from the gardens of paradise. Make your choice. Make your choice. My friends, this is a dunya. It's not an amusement park. It's not an amusement park. It isn't. People with far greater intellect than you and I, the likes of Imam Ghazali rahimahullah, the likes of Junaid Baghdadi rahimahullah, Imam Abu Hanifa, these people who would eat you, me and everybody up for breakfast, friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they were under no illusion, they were not deluded. Their maqsad and your maqsad is what? To please Allah. You want to enjoy yourselves, you can enjoy in the next life. I have people who come to see in my clinic, they've had the good life. You know what you think the good life is? Hedonistic lifestyle. You can't even understand what they've been through. You can only imagine that this is the good life, and then they come at the age of 40, 35, and all the systems are tuss. You know, nothing works for them anymore because they've gone too far, too quick. Do you want to follow their lifestyle? How many guys do you know, celebrities, who end up killing themselves? The likes of Michael Jackson. You still remember this Michael Jackson? Do you remember him in Canada? You know, these kind of guys, where are they? So many guys, they commit suicide. Why? Because, you know, you will think that their fast cars and their Bugattis and their this nightclub lifestyle is what is the epitome of happiness. But them guys turn to the devil because there's no peace, and they think the peace is with the devil. Is it with the devil? Who's your biggest enemy? The devil is your biggest enemy. And number two, I'll tell you something else, who's your biggest enemy? It's yourself. Your biggest enemy is your ego. Ego. You think you know these samurais, you know the samurais? These Japanese masters of martial arts. Who's heard of these? Who's heard of ninjas? Ninjas had no honor. Did you say you heard ninjas? This little kid put his hand up. MashaAllah. Someone's connecting with me, MashaAllah. So these samurais were people of honor. They had honor. Yeah? Ninjas were like sneaky guys. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Do you have that here as well? They're the ninjas. Anyway, so quick point. So this person, this samurai, he went through a crisis in his life. So he went to some priest and he said to the priest, I want to have a happy life. Tell me the way to salvation and paradise. Now, when Mr. Samurai Saab says something to you, you pay attention and you salute him. Because respect for them was everything. So what did this guy do? This priest, he said to him, go away, go away, go away, go away. So the samurai kind of thought, this is no respect. So he stiffened a bit. And he asked him again, look, I'm asking you a question. Which is the way to paradise and salvation? Which is the way to peace? So that samurai said, so the priest said to him, Abi, go from here. Can't you see I'm a busy person? So at that moment, that samurais, if you want to see skills, you look at these samurais. That second, the narrator says that samurai took his sword out and, like in milliseconds, brought it to that guy's neck of the priest. And then he heard the voice, this is the path to hell. He stopped. What, maybe a mil, 2 mil from that person's neck? He stopped. He just heard the words, this is the way to hell. And then he thought, Allahu Akbar, this person, this priest, look at the self-control he's got. To make me understand this is his self-control. So he put the sword down and he bowed to him. And then he heard the voice, this is the path to salvation. Subhanallah. So even from non-Muslims you can learn, my friend. But you know what? We don't need to learn from non-Muslims. Who do we learn from? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Who is the best? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهِ. What does Allah Ta'ala say to Rasulullah? Ya Rasulullah, tell the people, all you guys, if you love Allah, فَاتَّبِعُونِي, follow yani Rasulullah, يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهِ وَيَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ. He'll forgive your sins and He will love you in return. When Allah loves you, my friends, you will have the good life. And if you want to know what the good life is, I'm trying to find some elderly people who used to say around the masjid, ask these elderly people what the good life is. Yeah? The good life is what these elderly people saying here, mashallah, and Haji Noman down there, mashallah. These elders from amongst us, they've got the good life. Why have they got the good life? Because they read the namazes, they read the Quran, everything works for them. So you can wait 30, 40 years and then come to the good life, or you can listen to what I'm saying, what Maulana Ibrahim Sahib is saying. Maulana Ibrahim Surti Sahib, who put him down as Maulana Muhammad Ibrahim? Is Maulana Ibrahim Surti. I know maybe you have a thing for Baruchi Surti, I don't know. But this man is Maulana Muhammad, Maulana Ibrahim Surti. Allah give him a long life. So my friends, we need to follow Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The sooner you do so, the better it is for you. Everything about Rasulullah was the best. Why did he become Allah's beloved? Because his akhlaq was amazing. You know Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when somebody asks you and me for some money, what do? We kind of put the window up. Or we say, Abhi, can't you go, you know, it happened with me in June. You don't want to give anybody, you know these beggars in our town of Bradford, both in London, so every time I say, you know what, next time I'm going to give this guy money, astaghfirullah, because the Quran says, وَأَمَّا السَّائِلَ فَلَا تَنْهَرْ, don't say no to a sa'il. Then at that moment, I think, you know what, do on. Wrong thing. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would, you know, if somebody asked him for money, he'd give him the money. If he had no money, he'd borrow it. And if he couldn't borrow it, he wouldn't say anything. He wouldn't speak, he wouldn't say, you know, it's sunnah of Rasulullah. Not to hurt the person's feeling, he'd keep quiet. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When Ibrahim Sahib, keep it on the time, okay? I forgot to put my stopwatch on. He wouldn't say no to the person. So if you don't have anything, you have to just keep quiet. It's sunnah of Rasulullah. So my friends, the hadith I want to mention to you guys today is this, simple. Value 5 before 5. Hazrat Maulana Ibrahim Sahib, my teacher. Allah give him a long life and keep him safe. You know, we have so much love from our teacher, don't we, Maulana Ibrahim? Allah give him a long life, and you know, we are not worthy of sitting on this chair. You know, guys, we've got the best teachers, I think, in the whole world, our teachers. And you know our teachers, Mufti Shabir Sahib, Hazrat Maulana Ibrahim Sahib, our Hazrat Sheikh, Rahimahullah, Hazrat Maulana Ismail, Allah Ta'ala, you know, illuminate his grave. You know, my friends, even I'm 46 and I keep learning from my teacher. I learned from my teacher how to respect my parents. I learned from Hazrat. We used to go to his house and he would do dawat of his parents twice a week. Who do you guys do that to your parents? Do you call your, and number two, whenever we'd go to meet him, he'd say, come on, meet my dad. Do you guys, when your friends come, do you take them to meet your parents? This is, you should show love to your parents. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam loves you more than anybody else. He mentioned 5 things. He said, value 5 before 5. One Amr ibn Maymun al-Awdi radiyallahu anhu, قال Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam لرجل وعيده اغتنم خمسا قبل خمسين. Value 5 before 5. شبابك قبل حرمك. Value your youth before your old age. Value it. As I mentioned yesterday, the people of the 7 sleepers in the cave, what were these guys? They were youth. Value your youth before you become old men. If you become an old man, you might just die. And then you will be entitled to be under the shade of Allah Ta'ala. Value your youth before your old age. Then it says, Sihatak qabla sakmik. Value your health before you become ill. My friends, it can strike you at any time. It's my job. I see people with illnesses, severe illnesses, life-altering illnesses. I had a patient with pulmonary sarcoidosis, bichara. This guy would do 100 meters in 19 seconds. When he came to see me in the clinic, he's passed away, bichara. When he came to see me, from the door to my consulting rooms, it'd take him maybe 8-9 minutes, and he'd have this oxygen pump. He'd have signs of cyanosis, blueness of the lips, bichara. Allah Ta'ala ko pyara ho gaya. I remember his wife ringing me at 3 o'clock. I still remember the phone call she rang, and I just heard someone crying. It traumatized me. Your health is your biggest asset. There was a king once. When you go to the bathroom and you do peshab, you relieve yourself. Have you ever thought what blessing it is? There was a king. He lost the ability to urinate. So he went to a medical man. So the medical man said, no problem. But this is a very expensive medicine. So the king said, no problem, I'm the king. He said, yeah, the charge is half of your kingdom. King said, no problem, I can get rid of half. And he wrote the papers and he said, no, give me the medicine. So he gave him the medicine, king went back. But the problem now was the king's urinary output was kind of prolific. It didn't stop. So he came back to the Hakim man and said, look, I've got a problem. Now my urine won't stop. So the guy said, this is what you wanted. He said, yeah, but now I need to go back to normal. So the doctor said to him, no problem, there's a price. What's the price? The other half of your kingdom. He said, you know what, if that's what it needs to be, I'd rather be alive than dead. Sign the papers. After that, the king realized that he went back to normal. Then the king said, what do I do now? So the man said to him, look, you can't touch anything in this kingdom. He said, what shall I do? The king. He said, well, you just go and cut the grass. So then the king started to cry and sob, bichara. Then this Mr. Dr. Hakim Saab said to him, look, I don't want your kingdom. Take your kingdom back. I want you to understand that all this stuff, all this kingdom and all this killing you've done to achieve this, you got rid of it for just the ability to urinate. Example, your health is everything. And the best way to maintain your health is the life of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Exercise, fasting, oral, hygiene, your mouth, your teeth. And this is not the time, we don't have the time, but everything Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has told us is being validated by science. So second thing was your health before your sickness. And the third thing, وَغِنَاكَ قَبْلَ فَقْرِكَ, value your wealth before you don't have that wealth. You guys are Canadians. The sun didn't shine on a better land than Canada, I'm told. Allahu Alam. But the point is, my friends, this affluence, Allah can take it away. As Abu Hassan Nadwi, rahimahullah, he mentioned to the people in Burma once, guys, do the work of Allah, spread deen, otherwise the time will come where this will be taken away from you. They didn't listen. Next year in 62, it was nationalized, they lost everything. So value the ability that you have now to spend in the path of Allah. And the fourth thing is your free time. Faragha qabla shughlik. Value your free time before you don't have free time. And the fifth thing is value your life before your death. Alright. May Allah Ta'ala give us the ability to act upon what's been said. May Allah Ta'ala give us the ability to become His friends. And may Allah Ta'ala give us the ability to get ready for that journey into the grave. How long, Mona Ibrahim? Okay, time. Chalo, on that note, Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, Subhanakallah wa bihamdika, Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Ji? Question time is going to come in like 5 minutes. So please just keep your questions in your minds, inshallah, everybody. Jazakumullah khair.
Assalamu alaikum. But there's so many questions, but so less time. Okay, boys, come closer, my friends. This majlis is especially for you. Let the youngsters come closer. Aage aage aa jao. Don't sit in the dark, come in the light. Noor is better than zulmat. Light mein aa jao, light mein aa jao. MashaAllah, good boys. Jazakallah. अरे भाई कमिटी वाले कुछ पिज़्ज़ा वीज़ा ऑर्डर किया है कि नहीं भाई? कैन वी एक्सपेक्ट सम पिज़्ज़ास? किया है? ओके भाई, यू हैव टू डू सबर है. पिज़्ज़ास कमिंग, माइट टेक एन आवर और सो. बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली अला रसूलिहिल करीम, अम्मा बाद. Lots of questions here. Assalamu alaikum. Can we get Maulana Abdul Rahim to speak about the sunnats while getting married, what it means to have nikah, walima, wadai in Islam, as well as Islamic ruling about culture views? Shall we start with this question? Okay. I have written a book called Gift for Nikah. Read that book, all the questions are answered in there. By Yaqub, where is he? Have you got some books here? How much are you selling them for? Gift for Nikah. $5? No, give them special discount today. $3. Okay? Take it for $3 and read the kitab. Everything is in there. Let me just say a few points very quickly, briefly. Number 1 point, benefits of nikah. First benefit is obeying the command of Allah. Whose hukam is it to get married? Bolo bolo. Who said get married? Bolo na. Who said get married? Where did he say get married? Surah An-Nisa, 4th Sibara, 1st Ruku, 2nd page. Fankihu ma taba lakum minan nisa'i masna wa thulatha wa ruba. What is fankihu? Amr. Allah is saying get married. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Man istata minkum al-ba'ata falyatazawwaj. He said, Tazawwaju al-wadud al-walud. He said, Tanakahu takatharu. He said, Allah said, Fankihuhunna bi'izni ahlihinna. All these are amr. Number 1, when you do nikah, you are following the command of Allah. If you follow Allah's command, Allah will be happy. Alhamdulillah. Allah will say, my slave, I created him. He is doing exactly what I told him. I'm happy with him. Number 2, when you're doing nikah, you're following the sunnat of Hazrat Nabi Kareem. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. What did he say? An-nikahu min sunnati. What did he say? Nikah is my way of life. Right? So when you do nikah, you enter wedlock, you are following the sunnat of your Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and you get thawab for that. Let me mention one thawab. He said, whoever holds on to my sunnah when there is corruption in the ummah will get thawab of 100 shaheed, martyrs. Now, at this moment of time, we see nikah is looked down upon. Many youngsters, boys and girls, don't want to do nikah. They see it as something, oh, it's cultural and it's bad. And this is fasad, mischief, corruption. Now, when you get ready and you do nikah, you are following the sunnat of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Inshallah, for your nikah, you will get thawab of 100 shaheed. Number 3, third benefit, protection from shaitan by controlling the desire, getting rahat and sukoon, controlling the nafs, and developing a friendship with a friendly partner of life. Let's go over it again. Protecting from shaitan. When you're single, then shaitan will attack you more. Shaitan will always try to get better of you. But when you're married, shaitan will not get the better of you because you've got your wife. Right? You've got your wife, you've got a wife to go to. You will get peace of mind, sukoon with your wife. Allah said about nikah, لِيَسْكُنَ إِلَيْهَا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا. In 2 places Allah uses the word sukoon. That marriage brings you sukoon. My friends, sit still, don't keep moving, okay? If you move, you distract me. Stay still, don't move. Okay. Getting sukoon. I was sitting the other day with youngsters. I told them, talking about this subject, I asked them, where did Allah Pak create Adam alayhi salam? in Jannat, right? He was in Jannat, but still he was feeling lonely. Is there any place better than Jannat? Any place in the dunya better than Jannat? Jannat is the best place to be. You got everything there. But he was feeling lonely. Until Allah created Hawwa alayhi salam, their nikah was done, they started living together. Then Adam alayhi salam felt the sukoon and peace of mind, and he was complete. Until then he was just half. He was all over the place. So, yeah, my young friend, get married. Your wife is your other half. She makes you perfect, complete. You make her complete and perfect. Both of you make a very good couple, and your life will move on smoothly. You will give her sukoon, she will give you sukoon. You understand the third benefit? Protection from shaitan and gaining sukoon. This is, I'm taking from Ibn Qudama al-Maqdisi Hanbali's book, Minhajul Qasidin. Number 4, he says, when you do nikah, you get help with your household chores. Cooking, cleaning, washing, clothes, utensils, etc. فَإِنَّ الْإِنسَانِ يَتَعَذَّرُ عَلَيْهِ ذَلِكَ مَعَ الْوَحْدَةِ. Because when a person is alone, then doing all these things are hard for him. وَلَوْ تَكَفَّلَ بِهِ لَضَاعَ أَكْثَرُ وَقْتِهِ وَلَمْ يَتَفَرَّغْ لِلْعِلْمِ وَالْعَمَلِ. And if he has to do all these things himself, then his time, a lot of his time will be wasted, and he won't get any free time to study and practice. فالمرأة الصالحة عون على الدين بهذه الطريقة إذ اختلاف هذه الأسباب شواغل للقلب. A good pious wife gives assistance and support and help in these things, and by this way she helps him in her deen and religion as well, to learn, study and practice and be a better person. So marriage will bring you this sukoon as well, help with your daily needs and support. Number 5, he says in nikah there is mujahada of nafs as well, because you will have to provide for the wife, you will get kids, you will have to provide for the kids, look after them. And this mujahada will bring you spiritual taraqqi, closeness to Allah. You might not get that closeness to Allah by just praying namaz, as much as you will get by providing for your wife, looking after her nicely, looking after your children, bringing them up and nurturing them, paying their fees, taking them to the school, bringing them to school, from school taking them to madrasa, making them hafiz, alim. Your rank will be raised so high that by nafil namaz your rank will not be raised that much. So getting married, having children is for your own benefit. And number 6, he said, baqa'un nasl. In getting married, your nasl baqi remains. Your lineage survives. There's someone to survive you after you die. Your lineage is not cut off. So these are the 6 benefits of getting married. Number 1, obeying Allah's hukam. Number 2, ittibai sunnah. Number 3, protection from shaitan and getting sukoon and itminan of qalb, peace of mind. Number 4, getting help with household chores, cooking, cleaning, washing clothes, etc. And with this help, you can study more and practice more and increase your knowledge, ilm and amal. And number 5, there is mujahada of the nafs by providing for the wife and the kids, and your taraqqi is done by this mujahada. You get closer to Allah. And number 6, baqa'un nasl. Your nasl and your lineage will remain after you die. If you are childless, there's nobody to survive you. You're dead. No, you're forgotten. There's no name for you. No one to survive you. But if you have a large family, you have lots of kids, then those kids will have grandkids and great grandkids, and they will survive you, they will remember you, they will give sadaqah, khairat on your behalf after you die, they will read Yasin and send sawab to you in your grave. There are so many benefits of getting married and having kids. We have another question. What to look for in a woman? I want to get married. What should I look for in a woman? This is also from Ibn Qudama. Number 1, first and foremost priority is deen. What is it? What should you look for? And this goes same both ways. What to look for in a woman, girl, and what to look for in a boy. Right? Both ways. Number one priority is deen. فَاظْفَرْ بِذَاتِ الدِّينِ تَرِبَتْ يَدَاكَ وَلَأَمَةٌ خَرْمَاءُ سَوْدَاءُ ذَاتُ دِينٍ أَفْضَلُ. If you get a deendar partner, religious, who has religious mentality, deen, taqwa, parhezgari, Allah's khawf, Allah's fear, then that's the best thing you can get. The best thing you can get. مَسْتَفَادَ الْمُؤْمِنِ بَعْدَ تَقْوَى اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ خَيْرًا لَهُ مِنِ امْرَأَةٍ صَالِحَةٍ. The best thing you can get after taqwa is a pious woman. Number two, second thing to look for in a partner is good family. They should be from a good family, right? Look at their parents, their siblings, right? Friends, who are their friends? And in this day and age, check them out on their Facebook account. Who do they associate with? You can easily type their name, check them out. You will see what type of mentality they have. Right? So family background is also important. They should be from a good family, respectable family, Jama'at, Tabligh Jama'at, going in the path of Allah, praying namaz 5 times a day, being hafiz, being alim, having good akhlaq, good manners, good behavior, being humble, being generous, sakhi. This should be looked into. That the person should be sakhi, should not be stingy, bakhil, kanjus, makhi juice. Right. Prophet ﷺ gave 2 of his daughters to Hazrat Usman. First Ruqayya, when she died, she gave him Kulthum. Because Hazrat Usman had beautiful akhlaq, he was ba-haya, ba-sharam, and he was very generous, sakhi. Sakhawat, you should look for. If the boy is stingy, don't give him your daughter. He's stingy as it is. He's always counting pennies, cents and dollars. Usko kya ladki dena? Right. Make sure there is sakhawat in him. Number 3, good looks. If you are good looking, your partner should be good looking as well. There should be a match. When I was looking for a partner for my son, Sheikh Yunus Saab said, Uska muh kaisa hai? Uska muh acha hona chahiye. Look at the face of the girl. If she is good looking, then marry your son to her. So you have to look for the looks as well. I'm not going too much detail in there. Number 4, good manners, which I've just covered. Number 5, she should not be too costly. In some places they ask for too much meher, too many gifts, too much gold, 15,000 meher, 20 tolas gold, and this and that, and house, and Mercedes car. Khudafiz, keep your daughter in your house. I can't afford all this. Okay. Number 5, marry a virgin. Alaykum bil abkar is said in the hadith. Number 6 हुआ ना ये. Number 7, marry a woman who gives lots of children, who's not barren. She's a baby machine. She gives lots of kids. How do you find that out? By looking at the family, siblings. If she has a large family, that means she will bear children as well. These are some qualities to look for in the partner. And then there are some adabul muasharat. Walima, some say mustahab, some say sunnat, some say wajib. Husnul khuluq ma'az zawjat, ihtimalul aza, and having a good sense of humor, joking, being playful, that is needed between the two partners. When you get married, you can't be doing gloom stumble, stubborn all the time. You have to smile. You have to have good connection with your partner. And then there are other, spend on your wife. She deserves it. She's not going to go out to work. Don't send her to work. Don't force her. If she has work, she goes, moderate work, little bit, okay. But don't force her to work. You should be the breadwinner and you should provide for her. Ibn Qudama says at the same time, learn the masail of haiz. Masail of haiz. When you can have your personal relationship, when you can't. And what are the adab of that? You have to go through this course. Teach her ahkamus salat. As soon as haiz finishes, she has to start salat. Adabul jima', tasmiyah, inhiraf anil qibla, تغطي بالثياب لا يكونا متجردين ملاعبة تقبيل. I'm not going to translate all this. The ulama understand what I'm saying. لا يجوز الوطء في الدبر والحيزة العزل المكروه. These are some of the adab. Now I'm going to close this topic now. I hope you've understood a gist of nikah. We can go on and on about this, explain this and elaborate this more, but I'm going to stop over here. Read the book. There's lots of hadith in there, Qurani ayat, explanation, du'as, du'as for the first night when you meet, and when you fulfill your desire, what du'as to read, adab, etc. Everything is in there. Now, again, similar question. I like a girl and I am talking and chatting on text, but I'm not getting married. देखो ये सवाल, इसके बाद यही सवाल है. अब ये, if you like a girl, you're texting, chatting with her, is that jaiz or not jaiz? You tell me, my friend. Bolo. She's a stranger to you, my friend. You should chat with your wife, not with a stranger. And if you like her, then do nikah. Tell your parents, I like this girl. And parents will also have to oblige, check if she is suitable. Okay, there's some suitability, compatibility between the two. Family is okay, talk to her parents. If both parties get ready, then do nikah and start living together. What is the minimum age of nikah in Canada? Can somebody tell me? 18? In England it was 16, but now they've raised it to 18. So Canada mein pehle hi 18 hai. So if you're over 18, then do your nikah. Right? 18 is the limit. After 18, next day after 18, immediate nikah. And start living together happily. Sukoon. Nikah brings you sukoon. Right? Sometimes I watch my sister put on nail polish. I feel like putting nail polish too. Can I put some nail polish on my nails? Uttarimani abda. First of all, if you put nail polish on, right, then does your wuzu count? Bolo? Why does it not count? Because the nail polish forms a layer on the nail and the water does not touch the nail. So if all 5 nails are covered with nail polish, wuzu is not counted. Okay, but you want your sister, your mother wants to make the fingernails red color, what should they do? Use mehendi. You know mehendi? Put it on at night, leave it. In the morning, scrape it off and the red color will remain. The mehendi will go. Right? The paste will go and the color will remain. That's perfectly okay because then the water will touch the nail. There is no harm in there. But nail polish stops the water from reaching the nail. That's why wuzu will not be counted. So, let alone you, my friend, even your sister shouldn't be putting nail polish on. I was in Maktab Zakaria once and this young kid, I checked, I noticed him, he had nail polish, pink colored nail polish on his nails. So I said to him, why you put this nail polish on? My mom put it on for me. So I called his brother, he was in another higher class. I called him over. I said, oi, look, he's got nail polish on, pink color. He's saying your mom put it on. Tell your mom not to put this on. And he looks at it. Masab, no, he's lying. My mom didn't put it on. He secretly went into my mom's bedroom and he put it on himself. So, you should not put nail varnish on. Avoid it. Otherwise, your wuzu, your ghusl janabat will not be counted. Your namaz will not be counted. Okay? You understand the masla? Some more questions. Are there any ways to tell if your Ramzan has been accepted? Of course. If you're doing everything properly, then there is great hope that your Ramzan is accepted. We do amal for acceptance. Okay? Rejection is when you do something wrong, then that amal will be rejected. If you're doing it right, then it's definitely accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometimes Allah shows you signs as well. You feel that tenderness in your heart, that closeness to Allah, right? You feel that effect in your sajda, in your ruku. It won't stay all the time, but occasionally, sometimes it comes and goes. But for Allah, it's constant. General public, it comes and goes. This is a sign your amal is accepted, inshallah. You know what they say? Inna min jaza'il hasanati al-hasanatu ba'daha. The immediate reward of a good deed is another good deed after it. Let's say, for example, you prayed Maghrib namaz and then you came for Isha namaz to the masjid as well. So your second hasana is a sign that your first hasana Maghrib was accepted. That's why Allah called you over for the Isha. You came for Taraweeh today, you came yesterday. So your coming today is a sign that your yesterday's Taraweeh was accepted. So this is a sign when you get that urge and the ability to do and to act is a sign that your last act was accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do you understand? We'll have to move on, lots of questions. How do I deal with anxiety or depression in life? Be positive. You have to be positive. If you keep being negative, you'll stay depressed. You'll be worried. You'll be anxious all the time. You'll be scared. Calm down. You know, if you have to take some antidepressants, doctor prescribes for you, take it for some few days, some time. Calm yourself down. Anxiety is no good. If you want some dua for anxiety, there are duas in the hadith. Make duas. But don't just rely on duas. Because there are two things. Dua and dawa. Okay? Dawa means medicine. Ilaj, cure. So you have to do both. Right? Do you understand? Let me give you an example. If a person fell outside and his bone was broken, right? And he makes dua, oh Allah heal my bone, oh Allah heal my bone. Is he going to be healed? It would be only a miracle for it to be healed. What does he have to do? He has to go to hospital. He has to get it bandaged, plastered, right? Or maybe stitches, everything. And then make dua. That Allah, I've done what I could. Now you heal my leg as well. Similarly, in all walks of our lives, don't just expect Allah to do miracles for you. Miracles are for awliyaullah. We are living in a world of means. There are many questions of this type as well. Why doesn't Allah do this for me? I'm hopeless, I'm losing hope. Why is Allah not doing that for me? Arey bhai, you should be taking the proper means and then asking Allah. Don't put all the blame on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why is Allah not doing this? Why is Allah not doing that? What are you doing, my friend? Take up the means. Take all the necessary precautions and then ask Allah for help. So, there are du'as. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-hammi wal-hazan ila akhir al-du'a wal-ajzi wal-kasal wa a'udhu bika min al-jubni wal-bukhl wa a'udhu bika min ghalabati ad-dayni wa qahri al-rijal. Read these du'as. Are the artifacts in Topkapi Museum in Turkey real? I don't know. I think they are. Because I've been there and I had a look at them. The swords, and they say the kurta of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, jubba, his imama, right? What happened is Sultan Abdul Hamid Khan, the last Sultan of the Ottoman Empire, when the British Empire, got involved and they removed the Sultan, and he realized that Medina is now falling. These things were in Medina Sharif. And at that time there used to be a train running from Medina to Istanbul direct. So he loaded all these things on the train and quickly sent them to Istanbul. And there they preserved it. After that Medina fell and the present government took over. So that is how these things ended up in Topkapi Museum, and they seem to be genuine. Allah knows best. Okay. I get a lot of stray thoughts. Any advice to control them? Number one, strong willpower, right? If you want to control your thoughts, you have to be mentally strong. If you are mentally weak, you can't control your thoughts. Remember, don't let your thoughts control you. You should control your thoughts, right? Remember, thoughts coming in your mind is not bad, they just come and go. But bringing thoughts in your mind and thinking and sitting there is bad. If you start getting bad thoughts in your mind, just get up and do something, change your position. Go in the kitchen, wash the dishes for your mom, right? Take the vacuum cleaner, start vacuuming the whole house. Help your mom, do your bed, clean your room, tidy your room. Go to your study room and start studying, reading something. Start reading Quran Sharif. Change your position. Don't just sit there and keep thinking. It'll get worse. Shaitan will get the better of you. Okay? And then, if you get waswasas, don't worry. Waswasas are a sign that you've got iman in your heart. That's why shaitan is whispering in your mind. He wants to snatch your iman away. So, don't succumb to shaitan. Just ignore his waswasas. Slowly, you will get stronger and you will be able to control yourself and your thoughts. What is the ruling on Jummah Salah in schools and colleges? Is it allowed? Well, it's a necessity. If there are enough people, there is an imam, there is a place to read Jummah. Time is really short, you have to go back to your lessons. No problem, read your Jummah. Better than not praying Jummah. Do the Jummah, go straight back to your lessons. Can Laylatul Qadr be on even nights? Yes, it can. Most likely probability is on odd nights, but even nights are also a possibility. Okay, so we have to value all nights. How do you know your good deeds are accepted? Well, I've just answered that question above. Sadaqah removes calamities. Is this for zakat as well? Of course it's for zakat as well. Sadaqah is nafil, zakat is faraz. If nafil removes problems, faraz removes problems, batariq awla. Because faraz is higher than nafil. Faraz has more rewards than nafil. So zakat also removes problems. Those who pray 8 rakats, what is their evidence? It's a long question, I've shortened it. Those who pray 8 rakats and then go home, what is their evidence? Who prays the 8 rakats? They. Why are you asking me? Ask them. Unko pujo, what's your evidence? Don't ask me. I'm praying 20, ask me evidence for 20, I'll give you evidence for 20. I'm not going to give you evidence for 8. Right? There is no concrete evidence for 8. They have one hadith which does not indicate towards Taraweeh. It is about Tahajjud. That is the hadith of Ummul Mumineen Aisha radiyallahu anha in Sahih al-Bukhari. Ma kana yazidu fi Ramadan wala ghayrihi ala 11 rakatan ila akhir al-hadith. Long discussion. I have a fatwa on this on my website tafsirrahimi.com. Will you go and have a look at it? It's a long fatwa. I've discussed everything, given all the daleels in there. If you really want to learn, you go there and study it. You'll get all the dalail, evidence of both sides, and the jawab and answer and clarification. Just write in the search engine, on the top there is a search engine. Look at there and type in there Taraweeh 2020, not 2020 cricket, 2020. Right? You type in there Taraweeh or just 2020 and the article will come up. Read the article. Do you remember the name of our website? What is it? Tafsir, Tafseer-Rahimi, Raheemi.com. Tafseerrahimi.com. You go on there, there's loads of articles, there's about 1,000 questions on there. So you read those questions, there's bayans, audios, videos. This bayan which we do every day over here, even this will be on there as well. So go there and learn from there. Question, door of Rayyan in Jannat is for Nafil Roza or for Ramzan too? Nice question here. There is a hadith which says there are 8 gates of Jannat. One of them is called Babur Rayyan, and that gate will be for those who fast. So is it for Nafil Roza or is it for Faraz as well? What is the answer? क्या जवाब दें इसका? Well, we could say in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sahaba, Tabi'een, it was for probably Nafil Rozas as well, because they used to keep lots of Nafil Rozas, right? But down the line, 1400 years now, we struggle to keep the Faraz, right? And there is a hadith in which Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you are in an era, if you leave 10% of what you've been told, you will be held to account on the day of Qiyamah. A time will come, if the people practiced on 10%, they will be saved and they will attain salvation. Maybe we are going through those tough times. And inshallah, we have hope that if you keep your Ramzan Roza properly, Rayyan door will be open for you as well, inshallah. Okay? Try and keep a few nafils here and there as well. Okay? Maybe sometimes Monday, Thursday, Ayyam Bees, Shaban, Shabi Barat, okay? Zul Hijjah's beginning, Muharram's beginning 10 days, right? These rozas, try and keep a little bit, as much as you can. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq. This is a personal question. I don't know whether I should talk about it or not. Is having personal relationship in different positions allowed? I'm not using the exact word, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay? Well, there's kids here, ladies might be listening, so I can't be too explicit. But what I will say is, for the person who's asked, that yes, it is allowed. In one hadith, he said, "Aqbil wa adbir, wattaqi dubur wal hiza." You may enter from the front or the back, but make sure you avoid 2 things: the back passage and the menstruation period. Avoid having your personal relationship during these times and these places. Okay, oh, hey, bacho, piche jao. You're disturbing everyone, not only me. Go, come back, and don't come back here. Go, jaldi. Sit at the back. Okay, answer ho gaya. Someone asked about, being uncovered. Is it allowed or not during that? Someone once asked, there is some frame in our bedroom on which there is Qurani ayat, is that okay or not? These are real questions, right? So being completely uncovered is not desirable. Have some sheet over yourself when you're fulfilling your need. And if the frame is at the back, your feet are towards it, or there is some bedbi, then take it away from there, put it in another room, sitting room. Okay, don't do any bedbi disrespect of Quran Sharif. If there is no disrespect, it's on one side or one board or on one small, it's not too large or visible, there's no bedbi of it, then it would be okay. Otherwise, not. Okay? So, this is some adab of it. Do I have to give zakat if I have low income and I am living with my parents? But zakat is not based on income and living, it's based on what savings you have. How many savings do you have? And has 1 year passed on that? If you reach the threshold, last Ramzan for example, I don't know what the threshold is over here, I don't know, $1,000 or whatever, $500, whatever is the threshold according to silver nisab. Check it out. Then if you reach that last year and you had that amount or more throughout the whole year, and this year comes and you still got $1,000, give $25 from there as zakat. It's only $25 in 1,000. 10,000, only $250. Okay, so it's based on that. Now there are some questions about weed, marijuana. Do we classify them as the weed, etc., as alcohol? 40 days namat not accepted for both. Are drugs makruh or haram? What if CBD is extracted? Real questions. Well, I think I'm going to pass the questions. Ask your own mufti, local mufti. Mufti Ismail Kotwal, Mufti Ibrahim Quraishi. You've got lots of muftis here. Okay, shall I answer them? Answer kar de. Chalo. Do we classify weed as alcohol? Tell me, what does alcohol do? Someone drinks, what happens? He gets drunk. His mind is intoxicated. He doesn't know where he is, what he's doing. Right? He'll look at you and he'll stare at you and he'll start swearing, you, B and F and tam and tum tum. And then you swear back and then you start fighting. He'll throw the chair on you, he'll throw the glass bottle on you. Because his mind is not there. He's drunk. Right? Even if he gets out of the pub and walks into the home, he's falling left and right. Many taxi drivers, they sit in the taxi and vomit and the whole taxi gets dirty. This is when you drink. Your mind is intoxicated. Now tell me, if you take drugs, does your mind get intoxicated or not? Is there any similarity between the drugs and alcohol or not? Of course there is. Acha, remember one point. There may be classification of drugs according to the law of the land. Class A, Class B, Class C, right? Cocaine, marijuana, heroin, hard drugs, soft drugs. But in Sharia, in Islam, there's no classification. Any drug that intoxicates the mind is haram. Just like all types of alcohols are haram. Ma askara kathiruhu faqaliluhu haram. If you drink a full bottle of this, you get intoxicated, then even one sip is haram as well. Many times people drink one glass of wine, they don't get intoxicated. If they drink 10 glasses, then they get intoxicated. So even then, the one glass is also haram. Even one sip is also haram. So anything that intoxicates the mind is haram. Okay? Remember, I'm not using the English word allowed or not allowed. What word I'm using? Haram. Because haram is a religious word, Islamic word. And we are Muslims. We are talking about Islamic terms. Right? So, drugs are classified as haram. 40 namaz not accepted. Of course it'll be for both, my friend. Because they are both intoxicating. Right? So if you are on drugs, you better give it up quickly. Give up the bad habit. Right? Give up that company in which you are going and you are taking those drugs. Don't stay in their suhbat. Maulana Ibrahim Sahib was talking about friendship. Good friendship, bad friendship. You're doing this because you're in the bad company. They're making you do it. This is how it starts. Your friend gives you one small tablet for free. And you like it, you get a buzz out of it. I'm flying. The whole world is flying. And you say, give me more, yeah? He gives you free next time. And then third time, $20, $50. Now you don't have money, you go around, you steal from people. We got one question from this lady. Bichari, she was a widow. She was alone. She was surviving on benefits. And her son used to abuse her. He was on drugs. He would steal from his mother. He would go for a purse and take money from there, 20 pounds every day. She can't afford 20 pounds every day, but he needed it. She couldn't do it. And if she said no, he would beat her up. Real case. This is what happens when you go on drugs. You need it every day. So, you know that beginning, that first puff, avoid that first puff. Because that is the one which will lead you on the wrong route, wrong road. About zina, what did Allah say? وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا إِنَّهُ كَانَ فَاحِشًا وَسَاءَ سَبِيلًا. It is an evil route. So drugs, sharab is an evil route. Once you go on that route, you will end up in no man's land, out of control. What if CBD is extracted? The intoxication is taken out. Well, tell me, why do you want to take it? As a painkiller? because it's better than all the painkillers out there. Okay, you take it to relieve your pain now, but then what if you get into the habit and then you start taking that in which CBD is not extracted and it intoxicates the mind? Is this a possibility or not? Bolo? Right? Slowly you might get there. So anything that is mufzi ilal haram would be haram as well. But since you are using it for this purpose, there's no intoxication in there, it's been extracted, it's only used as painkiller, it would be jaiz but makruh, disliked. It won't be haram, but it will be makruh, and avoid it if you can. Don't take it. Use other painkillers. There's lots of other painkillers out there. Use something else. Question. Use of wallahi as qasam. My friend is always saying wallahi, wallahi, tal billahi, qasam, qasam. He says it casually. Is it allowed or not? What if someone said qasam in a lie? Is there any kafara for it? Do you understand the question? First of all, tell me, my friend, does Allah's name deserve respect or not? And when you keep on saying wallahi, 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 wallahi in every sentence, are you respecting or abusing Allah's name? Bolo? Abusing it. So give up this habit. It's bad habit to say wallahi, wallahi, wallahi. You know, in Darul Uloom, when I was the principal, there was this student from abroad and he had a habit of saying wallahi, wallahi. So I had to get angry on him, scold him, said, next time if you say wallahi in front of me, you know, you're going to get it, I'm going to kick you out, send you home. I had to reprimand him again and again, repeatedly, until he controlled his habit of saying wallahi. Because many times you don't realize and you are lying and you say wallahi. And this is the great sin if you say Allah's qasam with a lie. With regards to kafara, kafara is when you say something about the past. Sorry, there's three types of qasam. One qasam is about past, mazi. Like you say, Allah ni qasam, I prayed 20 rakat Taraweeh yesterday. Whereas you ran off after 8. So you're lying in that qasam. Right? So for this qasam, there is no kafara, only tawbah, istighfar. Allah meri tawbah, I took wrong qasam, forgive me. Second type is about future. You say, Allah ni qasam, I will pray 20 rakats Taraweeh tomorrow. But come tomorrow, you run off after 8 again. Then you broke your qasam. For this qasam, there is a kafara. Okay? And that kafara is mentioned in the 7th sipara, second ruku, second page. Either freeing a slave, or feeding 10 miskeens, or giving clothes to 10 miskeens, or keeping 3 rozas if you can't do the above. Okay? So the kafara of qasam, you will have to keep 3 rozas. If you take qasam for a future event and you don't do it, you break it, then you have to either feed 10 miskeens or give them clothes, or you have to keep 3 rozas. Okay? There's no slavery today, can't find a slave to free. Next question. If the person praying salah next to me has bad breath, can I break my salah and run away from him? I don't know, my friends. It's up to you to decide. How do I know how bad it is? He said something else as well. His armpits are smelly. He's not had a bath for yonks. And sometimes when people do smell, if they don't have proper bath, then their sweat and perspiration smells really bad. Right? And sometimes it is really annoying. It's a genuine question. And you do feel like breaking your salat and going to the other end of the saf. Right? Now, if it is disturbing your khushu, khuzu, and your mind is totally blown away, you just can't control it, then you would be allowed to break your salat and go on the other side. But don't make it a habit. Maybe even, right? Because the other person might feel bad. It does sometimes happen, right? I went somewhere and I think it was Zohar Salah or something. And this Chacha came and stood next to me. And in the Salah, he had a large burp. And he had eaten lots of garlic and a stink bomb shot out. I couldn't control myself. And then Chacha went on burp after burp. I barely managed to complete my salat. But you have to stick to it because it's for a salat, you're in the saf. Try not to break it. Control yourself and just go ahead with it. But if it's unbearable and you did break it and you went on the other side and completed your salat, prayed your salat, then inshallah, hopefully there might not be any sin on there. But don't make it a habit. All right? Maybe kabhi kabar aisa ho jaye, theek hai. Otherwise, control yourself. I am a cashier at Walmart. I have to scan haram stuff. Is this allowed to work there? Haram stuff like alcohol, haram meat, etc. From the Hanafi point of view, Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi was a bit flexible, but Sahibain, Imam Abu Yusuf and Imam Muhammad were strict. The reason being, Imam Muhammad and Imam Abu Yusuf regard the cashier as a buyer, a seller. He is wakil of the shopkeeper and he is selling that item, and you can't sell haram item. So Sahibain will say that you cannot work in Walmart because you are selling that stuff on behalf of the owners of Walmart. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi was a bit flexible, lenient. His opinion was that this person is not the seller. It is the owners who are selling it. He is classed as an ajir, a laborer. He is only doing his labor work. And doing such labor work cannot be classed as haram. Right? Because sometimes you have to do it. You have no other job. Right? In this day and age, it's hard to find jobs. It's not easy. Right? So, we will not class it haram based on the opinion of Hazrat Imam Abu Hanifa. Imam Abu Hanifa was very sharp. His mind was, he could see far away where others couldn't see in many masail. And he used to bring in lots of flexibilities, relaxations. So in this masala as well, we muftis today in this day and age have to give fatwa on the opinion of Imam Abu Hanifa, not on Sahibain. We often say that try to be cautious, careful, see if you can find another job in which this is not involved, to stay away from the ikhtilaf, difference of opinion. But if you can't, you have no other job, no other way out, then work and keep looking for another job which is clean and pure and there's no such things involved. When you find that, then leave this job. Okay, this is in a nutshell. I have a credit card. If I don't pay on time and incur interest and pay interest, am I sinful? Yes, my friend. You are being part and parcel of the interest system. You will be sinful. If you are not certain to pay it off on time, then you shouldn't keep a credit card, you shouldn't use it. Mufti Taqi Usmani Hafizahullah has written in contemporary fatawas about the masla about using credit card. He said debit cards are okay, but credit cards you would only be allowed if you are certain you will pay it before the due date. If there is any uncertainty, then using that credit card is not allowed for you. It's haram because you will be paying interest. And believe me, this credit card has drowned many people. Many people, they purchased on credit card, I'll pay it. Right, to keep their wives happy. She wants this, she wants that, credit card. And when monthly payments come, there's no money. So default after default, and they went into debt of maybe 70, 80,000. I read in one newspaper once, this white man, his wife, she wanted this and that, and they wanted to go for holiday, this, that. He incurred 80,000 debts on credit card and other different credit cards, and then he couldn't pay it off. He realized, I'm never going to be able to pay this off throughout my whole life. You know what he did? Committed suicide. Killed himself. Because of credit card. Unable to make the payments. So don't go down that route. Right? There is one hadith which says, La ashtari shay'an wa laysa indi thamanhu. I won't buy anything if I don't have the money to pay for it. I only buy if I have the money to pay. Keep that hadith in mind. Don't buy unless you have the money to pay for it. My son, as he grew up, he passed his driving test. He was looking for a car. So I told him, buy something nice, small, simple. He said, no, I want that Golf GTI. I said, all right. Every Thursday we have Auto Trader. He used to get Auto Trader and go through cars and mark this one, this one, this one. I used to let him go. Every Thursday, look. And then he saw this Golf GTI. He liked it. How much is it? They're 12,000 pounds. Have you got 12,000 pounds? No. Where are you going to get it? It's 0% finance. I'll pay it non-finance. What if you have accident next day? The car's gone and the 12,000 is on your shoulders. No, you're not buying it. Buy something which you can buy with cash, pay it instantly and forget it. No overheads, no payments. So he was down. He wouldn't speak to me for few days. Then my friend Akbar, he had a nice Audi, blue color. So I asked phone Akbar, Allah Akbar kitlan si mili? 2,500 pounds. So I said to him, go and have a look. Do you like the car? Buy it. I'll help you. Your mom will help you. You got a little bit. So he went, he liked it. I gave him some money. His mom gave him some money. He had some in savings, bought it. And he used that for nearly 4-5 years. No overheads. This should be our mentality. I'll only buy when I can pay for it. If I can't, I'm not buying it. Credit card, loan, out of question. Never buy anything, not even a house. Stay in a rented property, stay with your parents. But don't buy anything on loan, don't keep overheads, don't lose your sleep over payments. Okay, I have to go quickly now, I've still got one page left. How do you stop addiction of vaping? Uttari. Vaping, but what is vaping? वो फूंकते हैं सिगरेट की तरह, वही है ना? है? Okay. Peace is getting cold. All right, bye. Shall we stop or continue? Okay, let me finish it quickly then. I was talking to my friends. Number one, I just told you, strong willpower. If you want to stop vaping, you have to have a strong willpower. Number two, stay in good company. Number three, make dua. Number four, listen to my Jummah Bayan. There's some tips in there. Those tips will help you. And number five, if you get the urge in Roza, keep a miswak in your hand. When you get the urge to vape, use miswak. Your urge will go away. Our Muhammad Bhai Manjara said this, that this is a good tip. Okay, quickly now. My friend is a non-Muslim, he wants to embrace Islam, but at the same time, he wants to enjoy high school and do the haram stuff as well. Would that be okay? Islam. If you want to be a Muslim, you have to be a proper Muslim, bhai. You can't have that dilly-dally attitude. When you embrace Islam, you declare kalma-e-shahadat, you become clean. Your slate has no sins in there. You are like the newborn baby, no sin. Now if you tell him to sin immediately, then you're telling him to fill his amal nama with sayyat and gunah instantly. You can't allow anyone to sin. The sin is against you or is it against Allah? What right do you have to give him the permission to sin? Explain to him nicely that look, this is not good for you, it's haram, it's najaiz. Declare kalmah shahadat, say it and avoid it, it's better for you. Make him a proper Muslim, full-time Muslim, proper Muslim, 100% Muslim. Another question, we are in the times of fitna. What advice do you give to the students to stay on the right path? I have a special 1 hour bayan on this which I did in Preston. I did the whole 1 hour bayan on one hadith. Ittaqillaha haysuma kunt wa atbi'is sayyi'ata al-hasanata tamhuha wa khaliqin nasa bi khuluqin hasan. In times of fitna, you my friend, young man, you want to remain strong, then ittaqillaha haysuma kunta. Fear Allah wherever you may be, at home, in your bedroom, with your parents, in college, in school, in classroom, when you're alone with a stranger, there's nobody to stop you from doing anything. Have taqwa in you. Taqwa, 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 taqwa. Fear of Allah. Quran talks so much about taqwa. Be a muttaqi, be a parhezgar. Your taqwa will help you. And number 2, if you happen to sin, then after the sin, do something good immediately. This good will erase that sin. Right? Even if it's just la ilaha illallah, astaghfirullah, wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Even if it's just a few dollars or cents sadaqah to someone, give that sadaqah. Your sadaqah, your good deed will erase, eliminate that bad deed and sin which you did. And wa khaliqin nas bi khuluqin hasan. Treat everyone with respect. Have good manners. Have exemplary characters. If your characters are good, your manners are good, you are a good person, you will be protected, inshallah. Some non-Muslims call Huzur Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam na'uzu billah pedophile. How can I explain to them? Ask them, what is the meaning of a pedophile? Do you know what is the meaning of pedophile? Pedophilia means to be attracted towards minors. Now you tell me, was the Prophet ﷺ attracted towards Aisha? Had he ever had desire for her? Bolo na. When she was minor, he never had the desire for her. Who proposed marriage to Aisha? He didn't send a proposal. It was another lady who said, Ya Rasulullah, get married to your friend's Abu Bakr's daughter Aisha. And he said, oh yeah, that's possible, go ask. And they asked. And then Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu agreed, nikah was done, but he did not consummate the marriage for 3 years. When she was nearly 10, mature, she knew how to look after the house, she knew how to cook, she knew how to do everything. She matured very quickly, she grew very quickly. Her father was tall, her mother was tall, so she was also tall and built and alhamdulillah, proper grown up. It is then that her parents said to Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, why don't you call your wife over? And they sent her to him. He was never attracted towards any minor at all. Na'uz billah, don't use that word for him. Do you understand? Is the answer enough? If you want to learn more about this, go on Tafsir Rahimi. There's some fatwa on there regarding this as well. Go on YouTube. There are some nice videos which explain the Prophet's marriage to Aisha radiallahu anha. Educate yourself. Learn. Okay, just skipping now. Same question again. I want to get married. What quality should I look for in a woman? वो तो मैंने समझा दिया अभी. I want to become an alim. Will I get enough pay from the masjid madrasa or will I have to do another job to support my family? Good question. Well, don't expect 100,000 a year from the masjid because the masjid, normally masajid don't have that much money. Medina masjid is big masjid. Not all masjids are big. There are small masajid. They don't have that type of large income. Don't expect them to give you so much money. Number 1. Number 2, if you become alim for your dunya or for akhirat? Bolo? Akhirat. Become an alim. Your akhirat will be bettered. Your akhirat will be improved. So become alim for akhirat, not for dunya. This dunya is temporary. Surviving is enough. Survival is enough. Lamba chauda nahi chahiye. And I'll finish off now. Our Hazrat, made Darul Uloom in England in 1975. There were very few Muslims there at the time. Some people said, Marsa, why are you wasting your money? Why are you making these people alim? Where will they get jobs from? How will they survive? Where will they go to eat? Where will they earn? And Hazrat said, Bhai, our aim of opening this educational center are two: Ta'aleem and Tarbiyat. If we achieve these two goals, we are successful. As for their dunya, Allah will look after their dunya. We are making them alim for akhirat. Their akhirat ban jayegi inki. तो आखिरत बनाने के लिए बना रहे हैं. तालीम, तरबियत, आखिरत. दुनिया अल्लाह देंगे. And Hazrat was right. Alhamdulillah, we graduated. We are living, alhamdulillah. Allah provides for us. We have never had the need to beg from someone to give me money. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks after us. If you become alim, if you become hafiz, for the sake of Allah, I believe you, I can say qasam on this as well. Allah will look after you. Allah will take care of you. Allah will provide for you. Keep your intentions correct. Who is the first alim in this ummah? Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. What type of alim was he? He was ascetic. He was zahid. He didn't want the huge luxuries and big mansion and big home. He survived on that small house. One pair of clothes. Food, sometimes get it, not get it. But he worked his socks off for his akhirah. You be this type of alim, Allah will look after you, take care of you. Finally, is masturbation a major sin? How can I stop? I do it in Roza as well. Oh bhai, if you do it in Roza, your Roza is broken. You have to keep qaza. Masturbation breaks Roza. You don't know that masala? Read our book, Gift for Ramzan. It's got all the masail in there. Says in there why masturbation is not allowed. Now, what is the hukm of masturbation? Shari hukam. Is it haram or halal or makruh tahrimi? Imam Malik rahmatullah used to say it's haram. Ibn al-Humam al-Hanafi said it's makruh tahrimi, close to haram. Right? The side effects, medical effects of masturbation are plenty. People say there's no side effects. Believe me, there are side effects. Erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, and there are many illnesses connected to it, but they are long-term illnesses, so you don't feel them. Right? If you do it for many, many years, then a time will come when you get married, you will not be able to function in front of your wife. Right? You will suffer, and then there will be breakup in your marriage. You will end up in divorce. Right? So don't make this habit. Right? Control yourself. You are Muslim, my friend. Control your habits. I'll tell you something. Mufti Farooq Mirthi rahmatullah alayhi once came, and I said, give some advice to these youngsters. And he talked about these subjects, and he said, avoid masturbation. He said, once I was going somewhere on railway station, and I saw some youngsters, youth, and they looked like Muslims. So I said to them, how are you? This like, kaise ho, theek thaak ho, light heart conversation. And during the conversation, I said to them, take care of yourselves and avoid this istimna bil yad, masturbation. And they looked at me and they said, Hazrat Ji, we belong to a nation who don't waste a single drop of their semen. They were from the Jain community. They eat wholesome fresh food, fresh vegetables, fresh food, and their cheeks were like tomato, red. They had so much blood in their bodies because they never wasted themselves. And nowadays youngsters waste their good health. There's no blood in their bodies because they have bad habits. So avoid those bad habits. Preserve your strength, your energy, your blood. Look after yourself. Be healthy. Eat healthy. Stay healthy and be good. Okay, finishing off now, Uzair. I'm so sorry. Just 3 questions left. Can I marry a girl who I like and she likes me, but our parents are not happy? My friend, talk to your parents, both of you, right? Let her talk to her parents, you talk to your parents, and work your way out, all right? But don't do anything to displease and anger your parents, all right? Do nikah with their consent and with their happiness and with their du'as, okay? If you can't get round to your dad, then talk to your mom, go through her. If even you can't get through to her, talk to your mamu, your khala, your chacha. Go to them and say, Chacha, can you please help me out? Khala, can you help me out? Mamu, can you help me out? And they listen to you. They come to your dad and talk to them, explain to them, Allah, ani sadi kara nahi rahi do. Kara iski nahi do. Tu nahi kara, un kara diya. If you're not doing it, I'm going to do his nikah. And then they will say, all right, okay, we'll do it. So work your way around, use some good techniques. You know, I was sitting with the youngsters yesterday. We had a very nice conversation on my marriage as well. One of them said, Maulana Sahab, I remember those days when you used to come here and we used to ask who's got Rosa and used to give us $1. And now he's grown up, mashallah, he's got beard. We talked about nikah shadi. I said, get married quickly, find a nice partner, get settled down. He said, yeah, Maulana Sahab, my mom's telling me, but I'm not ready yet. Who ready? Maulana, daddy nikri avi na hoon jiyo thaiyo ne. He said, nikah karo jaldi nikah karo. And then I said to him, if you do a collective nikah, 50 nikah at once, I'll come over here with my own ticket to do all your nikahs. You know, there's group nikahs in India. One of my friends, he goes and does group nikahs, 500 nikah at one time. You know, he pays for them. Gharib bacche, gharib ladkiyan, he goes around and he makes, you know, whoever they want to marry and everything, he provides, gives everything, money, and does group nikahs. Sometimes 200, sometimes 300, sometimes 500 group nikahs. We should be having group nikahs here in Medina Masjid as well. 5, 10, 15 nikahs at once. Jaldi, fatafat. Youngsters ko jaldi set karo. You don't need house and Mercedes. You should have your own bedroom. That's enough. Share the sitting room, share the kitchen. Your parents happy, you have a little bit of income. Live with your parents, slowly settle down. Slowly work your way up the ladder. Is it permissible to wear braids? No, avoid it. Prophet ﷺ wore it in Fateh Makkah. It was for a reason. Because he had to wear a helmet. So he had to make those braids. Right? But it's not his regular sunnah. He didn't do it regularly. Also, don't keep too long hairs that you would need the braids. Alright? Up to earlobe is okay. Maybe a little bit down the earlobe. But don't keep it like, you know, girls having long hair. Chotli bandne ki zarurat pade. Don't make chotlis. Finally, is it haram to be clean shaven? Yes, my friend. Because keeping beard is wajib. And if you don't practice on a wajib, then it's haram. Then the benefits of beard and why the difference between man and woman and everything, learn about it. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. अब आपका क्वेश्चन बहुत लंबा होगा, मैं नहीं लूंगा. सुब्हानकल्लाहुम्मा बिहम्दिक नशहदु अल्ला इलाहा इल्ला अंता नस्तगफिरुका व नतूबु इलैक. परवरदिगार आलम, हमारे यहाँ उठना बैठना कहना सुनना कबूल फरमाइए. इन बच्चों को इल्म नाफे अता फरमाइए और इस मजलिस को सबके लिए मुफीद बनाइए. या अल्लाह इन बच्चों के लिए दीन पर कायम रहना आसान फरमाइए, रहनुमाई फरमाइए, इस्तिकामत अता फरमाइए, बरकत अता फरमाइए. इन बच्चों के रोज़े कबूल फरमाइए, तरावी कबूल फरमाइए, नमाजें कबूल फरमाइए. या अल्लाह, shower your Rahman mercy upon these youngsters and make them an asset for the society and for the community and for the deen. Keep them strong on their deen, in their iman, and give them the understanding of deen and iman. They've spent so much time over here, sitting here so long. Reward them for every minute they spent over here and make this majlis beneficial for all of us. Sallallahu wa sallim ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in bi rahmatika ya rabbal alamin. You can go and have your pizzas. आप क्वेश्चन पूछो. There was this type of question, but I skipped it. इसलिए कि यहाँ मसला बड़ा टेढ़ा है आपके मुल्क में, इसलिए मैंने वो लफ्ज़ यूज़ किया हराम हलाल, not allow, not allowed, right? तो ये जो रिलेशनशिप है ये भी हराम है, ये तो बात वाज़ेह है ना। ये जो अल्फ़ाबेट वाली रिलेशनशिप है वो एल से जो शुरू होती है उसके बाद जी आता है उसके बाद कुछ और आता है, मैं नहीं बोलूंगा, तो शरई तौर पर इट्स हराम, राइट। नाउ समथिंग कैन बी allowed legally but haram in Shariat, like sharab, drugs, zina, pork, right? Illegally is allowed, but Shariat said it's haram. So legally that relationship is allowed, but Shari taur par is haram. Okay? So we cannot change what Shariat has declared haram. So our kids should understand fully well, parents to sit down with them, explain to them whatever message you are given in your learning centers, keep that message there. We are Muslims and this is Islamic rule with regards to it. We don't want to look down on anyone, we don't want to criticize anyone. They can have their lifestyle, we will not blame anyone, they can do whatever they want, but for us it is haram. We are Muslims, we are bound by the Islamic Sharia, Qanun and rule. Keep that in mind. Okay? And if you have that feelings, again, don't let your feelings control you, you should control your feelings. At that age, you know this age is critical, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, you know, parents should keep an eye on their children. When they are maturing, changing, keep an eye on them, what they're doing on their mobiles, who they are hanging out with, what is their behavior. And if they're going on the wrong route, bring them under control. Sit down with them, take them to Maulana Sahab, Imam Sahab, bring them to Masjid. You know, one of my friends from London, he wanted to come with me to Canada for I'tikaf. And then he said, Maulana Sahab, I was going to book my ticket, but since Ramzan started, I've got this duty that I have to take my two sons to the masjid for 5 namaz and for Taraweeh. If I go with you, then there will be nobody to take them and I have to look after them. I said, you're doing the right thing. Looking after your kids is more important than coming with me for I'tikaf. Stay here and look after your kids, take them for Taraweeh, take them for 5-time namaz. So he's worried about his children. He sits down, he's very friendly with them. He talks to them like a friend and explains things to them, and they also understand everything properly. We should be worried about our kids, to nurture them properly and, you know, keep them on track. Allah Aslan Kare. Assalamu alaikum.